Welcome to Call the Wild Tutorials, and today we're out here in a lookout point in Mississippi Acres because we are continuing our skill series in the Ambusher tree, and today we are talking about the skill Keen Eye. Now, Keen Eye unlocks the ability to scout the surrounding area for animals and signs of activities near a lookout point. You must be within 10 meters of the survey map in a lookout point to activate the skill. The action can be repeated but comes with a cooldown time. It's got 2 levels. Level 1 adds a chance of revealing need zones on the map near the lookout point when surveying from it. And level 2 adds a chance of revealing animal groups on the map near the lookout point when surveying from it. So I'm actually really interested in this one. I've been curious to try it, so we're going to do a little bit of testing here and see what happens. So we're going to throw a skill point in here, activate it, and we are going to test out what we can. Now I picked this area here just so we can see. I don't really have very many need zones around this lookout point, so we'll be able to clearly see how many we get and what we get when we activate this. So let's go ahead and try this. Now I had a problem when trying to activate it. For some reason it wouldn't go on, so I backed out of the game, came back in, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep clicking R1 until it actually activates. Now remember, it said we needed to be within 10 meters of that, that board where we survey from, and so I don't know why it didn't actually trigger. So there we go, we've just got it to trigger, and we've got one rest zone and another rest zone. So let's go and look on the map where those rest zones are. Now I can only see one up here. Well, it's actually 2, I guess. One for gray fox and one for quail. So that's good. But look at that timer. 1800 seconds. That's 30 minutes real world time. That's quite the steep cooldown for that. So let's back out of the game and reset that timer. Now I've reset the timer, but I actually, in between, I did another test. So we got 2 more additional need zones on the map. But I've gone and I've added the skill point, and we're going to go and we're going to activate this skill again and see what that second level is going to do for us now. So once again, we're getting another feed zone and another feed zone. So I've done this. This is the 3rd time I've done this. So I've actually gotten 6 need zones out of this. And now there's these markers here that they look actually familiar. If you've played this game for a while, you'll know that sometimes when you can't find tracks, the warden will suggest a spot for you, and you can go there and it'll usually give you tracks. So I'm kind of curious to see what's going to happen, but it appears that every time you use this skill, you get 2 need zones almost for sure. And so I'm kind of curious to check out what is going to be at these things, if it's going to be animals or if it's going to be need zones, what it's actually going to be. So we're going to put a waypoint there and we're going to travel there and find out. So I'm just approaching really slowly because I want to make sure. Oh, well, so we got a call here from a raccoon to see. I wanted to see whether there's going to be tracks there or whether it's an actual animal. It looks to be that it's going to be an actual animal. So let's just go and run and see if there's tracks there or there's a need zone there we can pick up as well. You can see our raccoon is fleeing, but I don't see any tracks appearing, which is a little bit weird. But it doesn't necessarily led us to an animal, but for some reason it's not showing any tracks. So that's a little bit of a bust for that. So I'm kind of curious to see what we're going to find out at the next spot. So let's go over there. So we marked that spot over here, and here we've come across a rest zone. And so we can see now we've got a raccoon rest zone there. So we've picked up another need zone. So far that's 3 need zones that we've triggered just with this skill alone. Now, I don't see any other tracks really. We got a warning thump here. I don't know if that's near here, but we're going to mark that there. We're going to travel over there and see what we can find. So coming over here, we can see that we've got an animal track, and we're going to it's obviously a rabbit track. Oh, and when we investigated it, we got a need zone, and we got the rabbit is right over here. Let's just take out this rabbit here. So that's actually pretty useful. So Let's just see what our rabbit is here. We've got a gold, which is not bad. So what did we learn from our test? Well, the 3 times that I've activated this skill, twice at level 2 and once at level, twice at level 1, once at level 2, we picked up 6 need zones. Plus then when we went to the point of interest, we picked up an additional 2 need zones. When we activated it the 3rd time, and it brought us to either an animal or an animal track or to a need zone itself. So I can see it being a useful skill. I think the killer of it, though, is the 30-minute cooldown. In 30 minutes, I can find a lot of need zones myself. So if it's a skill for you, I guess you be the judge. We did a little bit of testing here today and found out what Keen Eye was all about. So I hope you found this video useful. From Mississippi Acres, this is Call the Wild Tutorials saying happy hunting.